Jaden, welcome to Royal Pro, and today we're going to talk about what we're picking to build our editing PC. So right now we formed a little production company because we're all passionate about filming, and right now we just needed a new machine to handle the motion graphic that we're doing. So we have Nick behind the camera right now. He does a lot of post editing, and then he does a lot of After Effects motion graphic, and it's really putting constraint on our workflow because our current computer is not able to handle it. So i5 cannot handle what he's doing with After Effects. So and then we chose these parts based off of a couple requirements. We want it to be editing focused. We want it to be maybe Hackintosh compatible in the future, and we're also really constrained with what's available on the market right now. And just by the way, we're in Tbilisi, Georgia. We do not have the luxury of Amazon and ordering every part you want and have it delivered to your door. So we actually had to go around the city to different computer shops to get these parts. And that really influenced what we pick as far as what's available to us in Tbilisi. So let's start with our CPU, the heart of our computer. So first we're going to talk about CPU. At the heart of this editing machine, we chose i9-9900k. Now I know the new Ryzen 7 platform with the 3700X is much better value, but that has just released in the major market in Tbilisi, Georgia. That's not available right now, so that's not on the table for us. And because if we chose this, we were able to go, the Mac OS route in the future if we want to. This would be a pretty good choice. And we actually, just looked around everywhere in the city, and we were able to get this for 1,300 Georgian lari, which is equivalent to maybe $445. Pretty good deal. The next part is going to be the motherboard, where our CPU is going to sit on. And we actually chose Z390 Gaming X from Gigabyte. I've had pretty good experience with Gigabyte in the future. Gigabyte and Asus is definitely the way to go when you're choosing motherboard. And the reason why we chose this motherboard is because we really wanted a 390 motherboard, Z390 chipset. That is gonna help our CPU the most, and that's gonna give us the best result if we want to overclock. Initially, I really wanted the Z90, the Gigabyte Auros, but that is not available to us in this market, and this is probably our best pick. So that's why we picked this. And this thing came out to be around 535 lari, and that's pretty much equivalent to $180, $190. And because this is an editing machine, we really wanted to take advantage of the RAM because it really does help in Premiere and After Effects. That's why we chose 32 gigabyte. And we were lucky to find this on the market. This is Dominator. We were lucky to find this on the market. This is Corsair Dominator Platinum. It is the RGB version. It's kind of hard to find non-RGB version and be professional nowadays. But we were able to score this with only 600 lari, which is equivalent to about $210. Basically the price you would pay in US market. And I'm really glad we found this. Because the CPU i9-9900k puts out a lot of heat, to cool that beast, we need a good cooler. I really want to go with a 240mm radiator water cooler or 280mm, preferably Corsair or Cooler Master, but those are not available on the market for us. So we had to go with what we were able to find in this market. And what I was able to find that worked in both my spec and my budget is this. This is actually a water cooler from Aigo. It says V240 and it's got RGB fans. This water cooler, we were actually able to grab this for merely 140 lari. And that actually comes out to about $45. Killer deal for us. For storage, I really want to have a fast NVMe drive for our boot drive and a hard drive to store all of our footage. Now for NVMe, it was a really hard find, but I'm glad I was able to find this. this is probably one of the only seller on this whole market that carries NVMe drive. Most of the seller in this market only carries M2, which is a lot slower, and I didn't want to reside for a regular SSD. So 970 EVO from Samsung. This is a 500 gigabyte. This will be enough for one project at a time and for boot drive. And for hard drive, this is actually a Seagate 3 terabyte. This is actually the Seahawk version, and it says surveillance on it because we're going to be writing and deleting footage a lot. So having that surveillance grade or NOS grade hard drive, it's going to help us a lot. For power supply, again, what I really cared about on the power supply is it's a reliable power supply that's able to power the whole system without causing any failure. Because if your power supply goes bad, it could potentially affect the whole system, your CPU, your motherboard. That would be really bad. So we were able to find this basically Esport grade power supply from Aigo. This power supply is 600 watt, but what I really liked about this power supply is it is 80 plus gold. So this is a very stable power supply as far as supplying power to the whole system. And for this power supply, we were able to grab this for a merely 200 lari. 200 lari is equivalent to about 70 USD. And this is a fully modular 80 plus gold standard. Now this is the best bang for buck in this market. A lot of power supply in this market are not certified. And if they are certified, let's say they're from Corsair, they cost up to maybe 500 or 600 lari, which is equivalent to about 200 USD. Now for graphic card in this market is very chaotic. For a GTX 1060, you might have to pay up to 800 lari. And 800 lari is equivalent to maybe $260. And that's for 1060, it's not even for 2060. For a new RX 580, you're looking to pay about 1,800, which is equivalent to maybe $600. So and you guys know how there's the rush for cryptocurrency and everyone's grabbing every single GPU possible to mine. And that kind of died out in US market, but here I feel like the graphic card is still in that era. But this card we were able to grab off of the shop for merely 400 lari, which is more market price. And this is the only used part that we have in this whole build. And this is the 8 gigabyte version, and we think this version would be sufficient in terms of video editing and After Effects. That's why we chose this card. And to case all of these components together, we needed a case that was cheap and it does the job. That's why we went with Deepcool E-Shield. This is a mid-tower case. This case is able to house 3 fans in the front, 2 fans on top, and 1 fan on the back. So this suits our need for airflow and also water cooling. And with the little icing on the cake, this case has a tempered glass on the side, so we're able to check out our beautiful components. To put more fans into the case, we actually grabbed a DR12 Pro 3-in-1, and this is basically the dark flash, also a part of Aigo. We get 3 RGB fan with controller in this, so our computer will look great in the end. These DR12 3-in-1 fans, they are actually really quiet. The max noise level is merely 16 decibel. The fan speed isn't too high. You're looking at 1200 RPM, but it moves air and it's quiet. It does its job. And we got 3 fan for only 60 lari, and that's equivalent to maybe $22, $23. I'll have more specifics on the screen for you guys. So enough said, let's get building. Alright guys, we're back. So the computer has been put together. Everything went semi-smoothly. There was like a little issue here and there, but we got it resolved, so that's good. We put the computer together and we got Windows installed and we got our Premiere and After Effects installed. And we actually went ahead and took on we started a new project on Premiere, and everything was buttery smooth on the editing process. Even when there's color grading, even when there's special effects, there's no jittering or lag at all. So this is like a huge step up from our previous workflow. We were working on i5, and i9 has been a great addition to this. And if you can see, the scrubbing is pretty smooth. There's no lag at all. You get to see everything on the screen right here. So we get to quickly scrub through what we have, and that's gonna increase our overall efficiency as a team. Overall, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys had some great time watching it. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. We'll do our best to answer your questions. Anyways, take care. Bye.